We've driven over $272 million worth of revenue for our small business clients in leads and sales. Time and time again, we've laid out the blueprint for how to take a small business from their first sale to their first 100,000 in sales. And what we found is that even though every business is different and gets a custom strategy from us, there is a general outline or blueprint that works every time for every business, no matter the industry. So this is what I would do if I were to start marketing a new company today. Step 1 is to understand who would buy from you and why. And before you skip this step because you think you already know the answer to this, let me stress that it's not who you want your target demographic to be. And it may not be who you think your audience is either. You need to determine who actually is your target demographic based on data. We've had a lot of clients over the years sign up with us that have struggled with this. They fill out their questionnaire for us to get to know them better. They write down who their target audience is, but then 1 week into market research on our end, countless times we found that the target market that they wrote down is not who their target demographic is at all. Let me give you a big example of one of the times this happened on television. We were featured on CNBC's show The Profit. If you haven't seen it, basically the guy who owns the multi-million-dollar company Camping World, he finds struggling businesses and helps identify why they're struggling. Then he helps them fix it so that they can start growing, right? Well, in one of the episodes, he brought us on to help with this client called Polar Bear Coolers. If you want to watch the full clip, I will link it below. But one of the first conversations we had was about who their target audience is. They sell coolers, and the business owner said his target market was groomsmen because he thought it would be a good bachelor party gift idea. But Karan asked the all-important question, does the data tell you that's who your customer is? Turns out the data showed that it made more sense for them to pursue people who were more likely to need a cooler, such as outdoor enthusiasts, soccer moms, tailgaters, and so on. You may start your business with the intention of serving a specific group of people, but you have to be open to adapting if that doesn't end up being the audience that wants your product or service. One of the reasons Polar Bear Coolers failed to get the sales they wanted for so long was because they were so insistent on trying to sell to this groomsmen market instead of taking a step back to identify who their real market is. It just goes to show you that you can throw all the marketing dollars in the world at something, or in this case at someone, but if it's the wrong someone, it's never gonna pay off. An obvious example of this is like trying to sell cat food to a dog owner. You can show them hundreds of ads, run crazy sales, discount the price. None of that is gonna matter because at the end of the day, a dog owner doesn't need cat food. You've got the wrong audience to begin with. And you may be thinking, okay, I get that, but I'm not trying to sell cat food to dog owners. That's clearly the wrong audience. Like, that's black and white. And I hear you, but let me challenge you with this. Any audience that's not driving the revenue you need is also black and white, the wrong audience. Simple as that. With Polar Bear Coolers, you can see the leap he was making. A lot of bachelor parties head to tropical locations where they can use coolers to carry drinks. Some people like to paint their coolers as a personalized gift for weddings, etc. But at the end of the day, that market was not buying his coolers no matter how he marketed it to them. So that audience for Polar Bear Coolers is as equally the wrong audience as dog owners for a business selling cat food. So how do you perform proper market research to know who you should market to? First, you want to look at any data you have. Website traffic, where is that traffic coming from? What pages are they looking at and for how long? Any behavioral or demographic data of any customers you've gotten. But let's say you don't have any data like that. I would start with your product or service and work backwards. So start with your product and write down what your product does. And not like the function, like if you sell vacuums, you don't need to write down that it sucks up dirt, but write down the benefit of what it does for your customers. How does it help them? Maybe because it sucks up more dirt in one swipe, it saves them time. Maybe the vacuum reaches hard to reach spaces, so it saves them back pain from bending down to clean it. Or maybe it gives them a cleaner home and space to live in, cleaner air, etc. Write down all the benefits that your product or service provides a customer, any that you can think of. Then from there, think about who would benefit from that. One of Polar Bear Cooler's benefits was that it keeps things really cold for longer. Somebody who would care about that is somebody who needs to keep things cold for a really long time, like somebody who goes camping overnight. Once you've got your list of who all could benefit from your product or service, you'll ultimately want to test them out to see which target audience converts the best for you at the lowest cost, but we'll get back to that in a minute. For now, let's keep going with step 2. Step 2 is to understand what your audience is already being told when it comes to your product or service. So this step is going to include some competitor research. You want to know what your competitors are saying to your shared target demographic and how that audience is responding to that messaging. So you can start by going to your competitors' social media profiles and looking at their posts and comment sections. See if people are engaging, or if they're not, that's also a sign to you that what your competitors are posting about is not relevant to your target market. So take note of that to know what not to post about. Then head to facebook.com/ads/library to see the exact ads your competitors are running right now on Facebook and Instagram. Just select the category of ads you want to look at and the location, type in the competitor's name, and if they're currently running ads or have ever run ads, they will appear here. Then you can filter to just look at ads that are active, or on a certain platform, or within a certain time frame, etc. Filter things the way you want, and then study these ads to see what your competitors are saying to your customers. One thing you want to look for here is oversaturated language. What language or phrases does your audience see all the time? Because even if what you're saying is great and relevant to them, if the way you're saying it is something that they have heard too many times, it's not going to influence them to purchase. One example of this is the word non-toxic in the household cleaning industry. Just because a bottle of cleaner says the word non-toxic on the bottle, that doesn't mean it actually is. And consumers like me who are looking for real non-toxic products know that. So instead of writing non-toxic on the bottle, you could try writing out a clear 3-ingredient list of what is in this cleaner that will show me that it's non-toxic without having to write it out. So study any Facebook or Instagram ads your competitors are running to get an understanding of what your audience is already being told about your products or services. This will help guide you to think of fresh and innovative ways to show your audience how they could benefit from your offerings. You can also sign up for your competitors' emails to see what their automated drip campaigns are like, meaning see what kind of free value or educational resources your competitors are emailing customers when they sign up for their email. Or if they're not sending anything, then that's a huge gap and opportunity for your business to fill. Take note of all of this, what your competitors are and aren't doing, what they're doing well versus poorly. Once you've got all your notes from step 1 and 2 jotted down here, let's move on to step 3. Step 3 is to create the most engaging, relevant, scroll-stopping content your audience has ever seen. And I'm not just using all those words loosely. You should use them as a checklist. When you create content, whether it's a short video that you're going to run as a reel ad, or it's a text ad you're going to run on Google, or if it's just a regular organic Facebook post, you need to ask yourself, is it engaging? Is it relevant? And are the first 2 seconds or 3 words good enough to hook my audience and stop them mid-scroll? If the answer to any of those questions is no, then you've got room for improvement on your piece of content. So now the real question is, how do you make engaging, relevant, scroll-stopping content? Well, first of all, you can watch this video next because that's exactly what I talk about in it. Second of all, you'll want to look at the list you made in step 1 of the benefits your product or service has and the problem it solves. Those are the things your audience cares about the most. Then in step 2, look at how your competitors are delivering their message and think of a new way to say it. A better way to say it. It's going to take some good old-fashioned brainstorming or hiring a professional marketing agency like Life Marketing who creates great content like this for small businesses every day. Once you've got your amazing content in hand, the last step is to decide where to publish it. So step 4 is to put your brand in front of your target audience in whichever way you can, whether it's a paid route like social media ads or Google ads, or an unpaid organic route like social media posts, email marketing, or SEO. You need to first find where your target market spends the majority of their time so that you know which platforms your business needs to be on. Something Sherman shows you how to figure out in this video. And from there, you need to put your amazing value-packed content in front of them with either paid strategies or organic strategies. The strategy you choose will be based on the budget you have and how many people you have in your sales funnel and where they're at in that sales funnel. So for instance, email marketing is an organic strategy, but you can't send emails to a list of people that doesn't exist. You first have to grow and collect a list of emails, and that usually does take an ad budget to do. Furthermore, once you do get that email list, these people are going to be further along in your sales funnel than people who just found out about your brand for the first first time on Instagram, and therefore they should receive different content. If you don't know what a sales funnel is, or if you don't really have one for yourself, I would highly recommend that you go watch this video next, where Sherman breaks it all down. But the gist of it is that people fall into one of 4 stages in the buying process: awareness of your brand, consideration of or engagement with your brand, conversion, meaning they've bought from you and they're now a customer, and loyalty, meaning they stay on as a client or they make repeat purchases, they refer people to you, etc. You need to be delivering different content to people depending on what part of the funnel they're in. So for instance, your funnel could look like running Facebook ads or posting organic Instagram reels to generate awareness, then retargeting that initial engagement to get them to sign up for your email list, then sending them emails that provide in-depth value, tackle pain points, and more until they purchase from you. If you have an advertising budget, I break down exactly what type of Facebook ads to run for each stage of the funnel in this video to start generating some customers for your business. And if you don't have an advertising budget, you are in luck, because I just put out this video on how to grow your business without spending money on ads.